Hi, I'm Emma, and you're watching My Birthway. This is the 34 weeks pregnant update. Um, and if you look at me, you can see that my face looks a little bit swollen and my eyes are a little bit swollen. That's mostly because I just woke up. um, but it's also probably partially just because I'm a little bit more swollen now. Once I get moving and stuff during the day, it's not such a big deal. But when I wake up, I also wear, carpal tunnel braces. My hands are really stiff. Luckily, it helps me sleep through the night. I don't have like pain and stuff, but my hands are super stiff, so I have to kind of get going. And my hips are stiff, and just everything is stiff. So anyway, this week has been. I mentioned last week that it's been a little bit tougher. I feel like this week also has too. At this point, my feet are swollen all the time a little bit, versus before they would be swollen and not swollen. Now they're always a little swollen, even if I have them up. Like when I wake up in the morning, they were going back to normal, but not anymore. I like the area right above my toes, like kind of this area right above my toes is always a little swollen, and my ankles are always a little swollen. And because of that, strangely, they hurt. Like they hurt. Like if the dog taps them, or if the cat jumps in the bed and steps on one of my ankles, it really hurts. Jason's been giving me some like foot ankle massages, which has been helpful, and it hurts, but it still helps. So I'm gonna do a double check with my midwife soon and just make sure that that's fine. I mean, I assume it is because they're barely swollen, and they don't ache all the time. They just, when I bend my ankle really hard, like going up a hill or something, they're a little bit sore. But it's because they're bloated ankles. so that's kind of not been so fun. I've felt really sleepy. Sometimes I have energy, but sometimes I'm really, really tired. And even if I've slept late, sometimes I feel like I have to take a nap. So I've been taking a lot of naps, and I've been trying to sleep as much as I can, but it still doesn't even quite feel like it's enough. I've been trying to oversleep even a little bit because I know I'm not going to be sleeping very much in the next month and a half, or after the next month and a half. And it's probably just going to get harder to sleep at this point because it's becoming tougher to change position and to get out of bed and go pee and all that stuff. So that's some of the stuff that's been, a little harder. I just feel really tired sometimes, like my feet and my legs are sore, and I just really want to sit down, even though I feel like I can't yet because I have just all these things I need to do. And I've felt this week pretty stressed kind of overall, not nonstop, but just when I think about getting ready, the house ready, it's just not, and I feel like we're running out of time. This is 34 weeks pregnant. I mean, theoretically, without any complications, I could have the baby in 3 weeks, and we're not ready, and it's frustrating and upsetting. And it's because we're so busy, but I can't catch up with the things I need to catch up on in order to be able to do that stuff. But at a certain point, I'm just not going to catch up on it. I'm going to be like, screw that, and just do the stuff that I feel like is important, no matter if Jason agrees. I can't help it. I mean, I'm sure at that point he'll agree, because I'll be like close to having a meltdown. Like, I need to get the baby room ready, or I need to like move our bedroom to the room we decided, anyway, so that's been kind of hard. I've also been really emotional the past few days, I've noticed, and I think it's pretty much hormonal because I can't detect any particular reason, but I've just been sad. Not all the time, but I go through bouts of like really wanting to cry a lot. And it's like about obscure random things, like any potential thing is upsetting to me. And that actually might be one reason why my eyes are swollen today, is because last night I was also having one of those emotional cries. So yeah, I mean, it's lots of little stuff. It's not like any real thing. So I'm pretty sure it's kind of hormonally motivated. But so I think it's been kind of a roller coaster for Jason too, just because I've been tired, some energetic, some really wanting to cry, some in a good mood, some it's weird. This week has been a little weird. Good news is, if the baby were to be born now, there's usually no complications, except they would have to stay, and be monitored and stuff because they're early. But their lungs are pretty much closely, like, almost developed now, and everything else is pretty well developed. They're just getting fatter and getting more nutrients and stuff. So that's exciting to note, is if something happened and the baby was born now, the baby would be very, very, very likely perfectly fine. Not just live, but be perfectly healthy and fine, like any normal term baby at 40 weeks or whatever. Yeah, now the baby's around 5 pounds, according to my email updates that I get that I've signed up for, which is pretty exciting. And I can tell the baby's getting a lot bigger, and I can feel pressure in a lot of places. There's been a lot of movement, which has been really exciting. So not just movement when I'm sitting and laying down, it's been movement. Then there's been movement when I'm standing, which hasn't always been the case. It goes through phases where sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. But I just feel like kind of nonstop movement all the time, and I feel like the kid doing like a spread out thing where I feel cervical pressure and I feel pressure at the top of my uterus and my sides and all sorts of things. So that's really exciting. And it's getting even more exciting because the baby's 5 pounds. Like, that's almost the same size as some babies that are born at normal term, full term, just because some babies are smaller. So it's kind of crazy to think, like, if it was born now, it would not only be perfectly fine, very likely, but it would look like a normal baby. It would even have some chub. You know what I mean? So it's like, really? That's crazy. Like, I don't know. I can't believe where the time went. It seems bizarre. Enjoy your time when you are pregnant because it goes so fast. I would still say that I'm enjoying the 3rd trimester probably more than the other 2 trimesters, just because, I don't know, I felt like this week, I felt like my body is now not mine anymore. It's been taken over by an alien life form that, of course, I signed up for. But it's not mine anymore. Like, I'm having weird physical things going on in, like, so many parts of my body. It's almost like I can't even focus on trying to, normalize that. You just have to kind of keep plugging, keep going. So it's like, my hands, my ankles, my stomach, my brain, my emotional state, my, everything is just kind of out of whack. So it's like, all right, well, let's just go along for the ride. And it's not really out of whack. It's just compared to my normal self, it is. So it's like, let's just go along for the ride and stay healthy and try to function, So it's like, it's kind of like a losing control in like an exciting way. Sometimes it's a little bit of a scary way because I feel like I can't get other stuff done, but mostly it's in an exciting way. Like, there's nothing I can do. I'm just going to let go and let everything be the way it's supposed to be. So that's why I feel like my body is kind of not mine anymore. It's being rented out for the next month and a half by my baby. And before it was too, but now the baby's having house parties and it's taken over the entire rental space with baby-related things like hormones and stuff. So enjoy your time. And I would also say kind of embrace the crazy a little bit too, is what I would say. I'm not so bad at embracing the crazy. The thing that's hard for me to embrace is the unfocused nature of pregnancy sometimes, the baby brain and the not being able to get stuff done and the being slowed down. And I'm getting better at that, although sometimes I'm emotional about it, sometimes I'm not. Like, for example, being stressed about not being ready. But if we weren't so busy, I think we would have started earlier, and then it wouldn't have to be like, go, 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 get stuff done, which isn't easy for me right now. So there's just a lot of variables at play right now. I'm getting really excited, as I've said every time I get more and more excited, but it also still seems kind of surreal, but it's maybe starting to feel a little bit more real now because I know how close we are. And then my brain is kind of in this other world, sort of like baby brain. So it's neat. Now I'm kind of feel like I'm on drugs or something, like all the time, either how I'm physically feeling or how I'm emotionally feeling, or just, it's hard to explain. And if you have that experience too, I'd love it if you would comment in the video and things like that. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully next week I'll have a little bit more energy. I'll try not to film the video right when I wake up so that I look kind of like a swollen, dry-voiced lunatic, or so that I don't look like that. But thanks always for watching, and this is the 34 weeks pregnant update. And hopefully next week I'll have a little bit more spunk in my step, and I'll have some updates that aren't entirely like wonky. But I'm still loving the journey, and thanks for being on this journey with me. I appreciate you. All right, bye.